I made a new graphic here. I'm going to wait for people to log on, but I made a new little starry graphic in honor of 2020. So say hi if you're here. I have some weird light today, so I'm trying to play with. Oh, now you can see it in the mirror. So welcome, everybody. This will be our last Think About It Thursdays of the year. Hello, Jay. See, I always know if Jay's here that we're live. I'm going to share this really quick. But we will take the next 2 weeks off, kind of winter vacation. And then be back, I think, January 7th or January 14th. Dorothy, I don't know if you're here watching, but Dorothy's going to be our special guest, and kind of she's been an amazing part of our community. So I'm really excited to have Dorothy in a couple of weeks. And everyone should, there it is. Okay, let me just share it right now. So today I thought that we would do a look back on 2020. You know, it's been quite a year, and okay, it's been quite a year, and it feels like the only thing that has gone on this year is the pandemic. I would also say the election. So 50% pandemic, 50% election. And then I think back about the Black Lives Matter movement, and there's been a lot. So I found some interesting facts about 2020. I just think it's interesting because I mean, for me growing up, but for a lot of people, 2020 was always the year of, like, it seemed like it was really the future. And I think if we've learned anything this year, just to fix my makeup, I think if we have learned anything this year, it's that a number doesn't mean anything. Just the year 2020 seems so futuristic. And in reality, with technology doesn't always come goodness. Hello, Kathy Kessler. So I'm going to give it another 1 or 2 minutes for people to log on. People are starting to come on right now. Hi, sis. So today I was saying, for people just logging on, that we're going to look at some interesting facts of 2020. In 2020, I learned a lot of technology. For example, how to put up this transparent background. I'm trying now. I have to stay in the to go this way. There we go. To have interesting things. But I'm going to share some facts. I'm also going to do a little bit of a look back on the year of where we've come in terms of our technology at Temple Emmanuel. I spent a little bit of time last night looking back at our services. I think Rabbi Aaron and I have done over 75 virtual services at this point. And to see the progress that they've come, a lot of people won't remember. And of course, we thank Daniel Tater of Launch Sound all the time. But it's crazy to see where we came from and where we are now and what works and what doesn't work. And now we're getting to a point where we're thinking in the future, we're always going to have in-person and virtual options, just because, I mean, think about Hanukkah. We've had hundreds of screens on for Hanukkah every single night. And I think just the convenience of being with community while you're at your home. I mean, I'm sitting here at my dining room table with it's ready for tonight, my Chanukiah. I bought at the URJ Biennial a couple of years ago. Already this year's has been canceled, which is kind of sad. Let's see if I can keep it. But all right. So here we go. We've got some people on. I am going to start with some of the most bizarre things that have happened in 2020. So also, I want to keep this interactive. So if you have anything that you want to share, please let me know. But this was an interesting thing. So I said that a lot of 2020 was COVID, elections, etc. But I looked up some of the most bizarre facts that happened in 2020 so that maybe we could have a conversation. Now, not all of these facts are not about COVID or something like that, because it was a big part of 2020. But here's the first bizarre fact. a star went missing. So literally disappeared. Did anybody know about that? Apparently, for 2 decades, astronomers studied a star in a galaxy 75 million light years away. And recently, they looked at the latest observations and realized they couldn't find it anymore. The discovery was announced, I guess, last month, and it was the first instance of a star collapsing into a black hole without first exploding into a supernova. That concept of a star bursting, I don't know if this is for anybody else, but like that's really scary to me, because what if our sun burst? Like that'd be kind of scary. Does anybody ever think about that? I don't encourage you to think about it, but something, let's see if I can get this a little brighter in here. Okay, so here we go. Second fact. Now this does have to do with COVID, but it's interesting. The fact is that a monkey in Uttar Pradesh's largest government hospital stole vials containing blood samples from 3 coronavirus patients. There's actually a video. This happened in May. There's a video of the monkey with the vials sitting on top of a tree. So I would say that if you just search monkey stole vials of COVID blood, you'll come up with it. But that is very strange, and I don't even know what to think about that. But that is considered one of the most bizarre facts of 2020. Okay, here's another bizarre fact of 2020. Did anybody here hear about the murder hornets? Anybody? Murder hornets? You can say yes or no. You don't have to have big answers. Just let me know you're here. So it was the year 2020 was also the year that gave us the murder hornets. It was an invasive predatory insect dubbed the murder hornet, turned up in Washington state near the Canadian border, and it sparked a lot of panic. An Asian giant hornet can sting you multiple times and deliver larger doses of venom just because of the size of them. So, apparently people can survive 1 or 2 stings, but not many. So there you go. Murder hornets. That's scary. I don't know what's scarier. This is a weird one. Poland accidentally invaded the Czech Republic. Now, I mean, I think that's a really strange fact, but what I think is even stranger is that this article says that it's not so uncommon. It's not so uncommon for a country to invade another country by accident. Is that like a little strange to people? It literally says accidental invasions are not unheard of, but they remain uncommon. In a minor misunderstanding, the Polish military recently invaded and briefly occupied territory in the Czech Republic and stopped locals from entering a church in their own country. The misunderstanding was quickly cleared and the Polish army retreated. This is where I start to just like question our world. Like, how really does that happen? I mean, how do you by accident invade another territory, another country? Like, if anybody has an answer for me, please let me know. But I just think that's this article, bizarre. That is just so bizarre, but it's also dangerous. Another bizarre fact of 2020, the Pentagon has released 3 UFO videos. The United States Department of Defense officially released 3 short videos showing unidentified aerial phenomena. In a statement dated April 27th, the Department of Defense said the videos were taken by Navy pilots in 2004 and 2005 and had been circulating the internet since they were leaked in 2007. So there you go, UFOs. I've never even known what to think about UFOs. And I don't really have a strong opinion on them, but I thought that was interesting. Okay, I think there's one more. There was something about drones over Colorado and Nebraska. In January, people in the United States of Colorado and Nebraska began to report mysterious drones in the sky. According to the New York Post, rumors flew thick and fast about drones as big as cars flying in grid patterns. So, when I think of 2020, for people who are just getting on right now, maybe they were serving latkes. Are we talking about the drones for serving latkes? That would be a great idea. But when I think of 2020, I think I definitely do think of drones. Bonnie, thank you. My goal is to entertain. If you've never been here before, I either interview people or I find interesting facts to me and I just share them and give you something to think about. You could Google them later. But I also have to say, this is from ndtv.com. So you can check the sources there. But sometimes, unless it's going to be harmful, I just like to read what people think are the most bizarre facts of 2020. So that was the top 10, I think I'm on 10, facts of 2020. This is actually an article from July. So I think a lot more bizarre things have happened. Okay, so again, welcome everybody. The next thing I'm gonna share are just like some more fun facts. When I first started Think About It Thursdays, it was, 2-3 weeks into the pandemic. And the funny thing about it was my goal was to just do something entertaining that wasn't about COVID and pandemic and sheltering in place and everything like that. And when I first started this weekly program, it was really hard because there was nothing else to talk about. So it's hard to think that there are still other things going on in the world, but I'm trying to find them. I think I need to, like my makeup being upset, making me upset. Okay, so let's do some fun facts. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do kind of like a look back at some of our live stream capabilities and how they've grown over the last 9 months with Rabbi Aaron and with Dan Tater of Launch. I wanted to kind of show some of the videos and see what you all think. So first of all, does anybody know why? This is kind of trivia. Hey, Raymond. Why is there cotton in your bottles of medicine, and should you throw it away when you get it? No. Let's see your answers. Why is there cotton inside your medication bottles? Anybody? Cotton inside your inside your medication bottles, and should you throw them away? I mean, these are really important facts. So yes, Kathy. So Kathy's right. There's 2 reasons. One is to keep out the moisture, and also to honestly just to protect your medication when it's traveling is actually the fact. And if there's moisture, it will make your pills deteriorate faster. All right, let's move on. I think I've done this one in the past, but I think it's interesting. When are you tallest? I'm never tallest. But the fact is, you're tallest when you first wake up in the morning. I know, because then I sit down and I'm like this all day on my computer. So we all have to sit up. Let's remind each other to all sit up. Keep pills from breaking. Yes, Bonnie, that's true too. It's to protect them. But as we're sitting here, maybe we should all remind ourselves to sit up and stretch a little bit, because why not? Trying to remind myself to sit up straight. Okay, so yes, it is to keep out the moisture and to keep them safe. Number 1, you're tallest in the morning. This is an interesting one. Should you sleep with your door open or closed? Yes, Raymond, you win. You're tallest when you're in heels. That's totally true. Should you sleep with your door open or closed? This is one of the interesting facts, apparently. Jay says open. Anybody else? And do you know why? And have you ever heard this fact before? Okay, so the answer is, let me check one more time. Did anyone respond? Okay, so the answer is you sleeping with your door closed will help protect you from smoke and toxic fumes in the events of a fire. So actually, we could do a whole tips for the best sleep ever, but you're actually supposed to, in the case of a fire or fumes, or if you live in an apartment building, stuff like that, you're supposed to keep your door closed when you go to sleep at night. I keep my door closed when I go to sleep at night. You know, some people have, like, I feel like it's the type of thing that you grew up doing, or, you know, but yeah, you're supposed to keep your door closed. So if you can get used to that, I understand the difference of that. Also, did you know that sleeping in a cold room can help you slim down? Just a single month of sleeping in a 66-degree room helped increase subjects' fat burning ability by as much as 10%, according to research from the Commonwealth University. So I'm going to start sleeping with like freezing cold. But yeah, so don't put your heat on at night. Number one, as a singer, I can tell you it's really, really bad for your voice. The dryness of your heat really is not good for you. But apparently sleeping in 66 degrees is much better. But then I would have like 12 blankets. So I'm going to have to do some research about, like, is it the same thing if you have a lot of blankets on you? I don't know. Yes, Kathy, turn down your heat. I think it's because your body is then working to keep itself warm. So you're actually burning calories as you lay in bed. By the way, just like stream of consciousness, if you haven't watched The Surgeon's Cut on Netflix, I really recommend it. My parents are in town and we watched all 4 episodes of the series. And I've always said that if we hadn't figured out that I was a singer, I would have been a doctor. I'm very interested in all things like that. Hi, Valerie. But The Surgeon's Cut on Netflix, it actually goes back and looks at 4 doctors from around the world: a heart surgeon, a brain surgeon, like a liver transplant, kidney transplant surgeon, and one more. And it is just incredible. Oh, like a fetal surgeon. You know, yes, they show surgery. That's hard to say, but I find it really interesting. So The Surgeon's Cut on Netflix. It is just incredible. One of the doctors is Mother Teresa's doctor. It's just an unbelievable show. Okay, let's move on. Okay, this is just a funny fact. You can't breathe and swallow at the same time. Should we all try it? Try to breathe and swallow at the same time. Useless facts on Think About It Thursdays. Did you know that babies don't have kneecaps? So I guess they must develop kneecaps by the time they're 5 months or 6 months when they start to crawl, but they are born without kneecaps. That's pretty godly in there. I mean, I wonder why. I mean, I think maybe that was something that God or whoever you believe in thought, okay, well, that they can develop after they're out of the womb. I'm not to get too gaudy, but like, to me, the ability for a person to be grown in another person is enough proof that there is a God out there. That's my kind of vision of God, is like, if I can tell my finger to touch my nose, then there has to be a higher power helping me do that. That to me is not science, it's God. Okay, when you close your eyes, I'm going to close your eyes and see what color you see. Did you know that there is a name for that color? It is called Eigengrau, Eigengrau, which means intrinsic gray. It's the shade of gray people see when there's no light. There you go. that is kind of like one of those facts that you can bring up to people. But Asian draw. Somebody can tell me how to pronounce that better. That would be great. Oh, this one is very interesting because I'm going through this right now. It actually says craving ice. This is number 12. Craving ice is a symptom of iron deficiency. I actually am getting some iron infusions right now. I'm fine, but the doctor told me that the other day. He told me that like darkness under your eyes, I have a little bit about that, and craving ice are signs of major iron deficiency. Although they are not in the medical books, they are the most common like symptoms that people find. So if you're feeling strange, go get your iron levels tested. For me, I was having some eye fatigue, and anyways, the iron infusions are really, really easy. Now they only take like 20 minutes. They're great. Interesting. I've never heard this one. Sharp knives are safer than dull knives. Sharp knives aren't actually as likely to cut you as dull ones because sharp knives easily slice through food. You only have to apply a small amount of pressure when using them. This means that you're more likely to cut the item you're intending and not your hand. Okay, so that is definitely an interesting fact. Okay, skunks. What kind of, I guess people say that if you get skunked, that you should pour like tomato juice on yourself. Has anybody ever heard that? That if you get skunked, you should pour tomato juice. Luckily, I've never been skunked, and I think that it's probably really, really gross. But apparently that's a myth. So don't pour some V8 on yourself. It says you should pour soap, peroxide, and baking soda. The skunk spray is an oil. I didn't know that either, which your grease-fighting dish soap will take care of. So next time that you get skunked, is this called skunked? Yes. Don't use pour V8 all over yourself. This is an interesting thing. You can download all of Wikipedia. Yes, Jay, I'm glad that you've never had a skunk sprayed on you. Either have I. I remember hitting a skunk with my new van, and a friend poured tomato juice all over my car. That is weird, Bonnie. Now you have to tell them to pour like peroxide. What did it say? You in the future, soap, dish soap, peroxide, and baking soda. So the fact that they poured it on your car is pretty hysterical. If I think about that now, that's a great story. So number one, you can download all of Wikipedia. So I guess it's like downloading an encyclopedia these days. But there's a link here if anybody wants it. Okay. There are more life forms on your body than people on this earth. That is incredible. So 90% of the cells in your body are actually microbes. So they say that each of us are like a little planet teeming with microbes. Trillions of them inhabit your body. So as much as we're often told, like, think of yourself as how small you are compared to the world, just imagine that little microbe, and then there's a person, there's a world beyond that. So there's always something bigger than us, but always something smaller than we can imagine. That's very interesting to me. I don't even want to read. There's one that's just gross. I can't read that. The size of your social circle is related to the size of your brain. This is an interesting one for 2020 because our social circles in some ways have gotten smaller. I don't know, in some ways they might have gotten bigger for people. Like people are having more Zoom meetings. I've heard of people who feel more, less vulnerable and feel like they can meet more people online. But what this study said was the orbitomedial prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that identifies with people's moods and personalities, can predict the size of the person's social circle. The average prefrontal cortex averages out to 147.8 friends in a social network. 147 friends, that's a lot of friends. I mean, and what constitutes a friend? Like, are all my congregants that I talk to included? Like, is my prefrontal cortex really big? Because I talk to a lot of people. So I don't know. Measure your head. Your hair growth may have to do with your ethnic background. So I think a lot of us know that. Young adults are more likely to be living with their parents than on their own. I think a lot of us know that now, that there's a lot of people through their 20s and 30s that are now living with their parents. What do you take during a heart attack that could potentially save your life? Anybody? What do you take during a heart attack that could potentially save your life? You're at home, God forbid, you think you're having a heart attack, and you take... I'm looking at the chat. Thank you, Jay. Aspirin. It's never too late to remind people of that. So aspirin. You take aspirin if you're about to have a heart attack. Or if you're having one, I guess. Let's do a few more than this. Oh, this one's very strange. Women, I think I've seen this on Grey's Anatomy or New Amsterdam or all the medical shows I watch. Women can give birth after they pass away. It's very rare, but has been known to happen, called coffin birth. Oh man, there's a study about it. It's a phenomenon that occurs when a pregnant woman delivers a child spontaneously after her death due to gases that build up in the abdominal area, putting pressure on the mother's uterus and forcing the baby out of the birth passageway. One example of this was discovered in 2010 in the grave of a medieval woman who was buried in Italy, according to the Smithsonian. Whoa, that is crazy and really sad. I mean, I don't think that happens anymore because I don't know, but that the Smithsonian discovered that, or the Smithsonian apparently talked about that. So that means that they went into the grave and found a medieval woman and her baby. That is crazy. Is that not just crazy to anybody else? Okay. Who invented the name, my best friend's name, Jessica? Who invented the name Jessica? Where did it come from? Any guesses? Don't Google it. Who invented the name Jessica? Although apparently it can't be proven, but the first time, I'll give you a hint, it was found in the 1596 play, The Merchant of Venice. So Shakespeare invented the name Jessica. Very crazy, very crazy. Oh, Raymond, if you're still on, high heels were first designed for men. Though closely identified as a female fashion staple today, high heels were first designed for men. At the end of the 16th century, Persian-inspired style was all the rage in Europe, according to the J. Paul Getty Museum, and heels were seen as being viril and masculine, and a great way to boost your height a few inches. So first of all, anyone should wear what they want to wear, but apparently they were for men. So there you go. That's very interesting. Let's do like two more of these before I share some videos. There is actually a mental phenomenon that causes you to see monsters in the mirror. It is called the Troxler effect. It was discovered in 1804, and it causes those who experience it to think they see something fearsome in the mirror just on the periphery of their vision, whether they say Bloody Mary 3 times or not. That is crazy. All right, let's do a couple more. Very strange. Blue cheese. You'll stay without the high heels. blue cheese can affect your dreams. Blue cheese can affect your dreams. Did you guys know that? Very interesting. Having strange dreams? It's time to skip the blue cheese on your salad. According to researchers from the British Cheese Board, eating blue cheese is particularly associated with vivid dreams. Okay. That's really interesting. I'm going to skip down. Oh, interesting. Women have more pain receptors than men. So if women complain of more pain, that's because we have more pain receptors. That's very interesting. But we also have a higher tolerance for pain than men do, according to Time magazine. Let's see. Well, this one it's interesting that it's listed here, but you only have to be in line before the polls close in order to vote. I think a lot of us knew that this year as there was a big campaign towards the end of the election that people said, stay in line, because if you're in line, then you still get to vote. So, but that is on one of the 50 facts everybody should know. As Amos sits next to me, you can leave everything you own to your pet. Don't have any close friends who feel like good choices to inherit your fortune? Not a problem. Your pets can be listed as the beneficiaries of your will. However, was the case with famed hotelier Leona Hemsley's prize pooch. Their total payout may be reduced if your heirs contest the will. Her pup only got $2 million of what was supposed to be $12 million inheritance in the end. So I will just say, where does that money go? I mean, so hopefully that money goes to someone, God forbid you outlive your pet, that then takes care of your pet. But that pet inherited $2 million. That's very strange. Sorry about that. You can mute your microwave. Everyone look into that. Okay. Oh, this is an interesting one. Has anyone ever looked up their house or their apartment building on Google, and it'll they have those cars drive by and they take pictures of your home, and then when you Google Maps someone, you can see their house. Well, if you don't really want people to see your house, you can actually map it out. You can go to your house on Google Maps and report a problem. And you can also do this for the face of your car if your car happens to be there. I've always wondered about that with privacy and stuff like that. So again, you go to Google Maps, you type in your address and check to see if your house comes up, because I've seen this before. I've seen I don't know if you've ever seen the Google cars. They drive by and there's a video camera on the top, and they must take pictures everywhere. And when you see that function, you'll see your house or whoever was in front of your house or whatever car. So that's probably good to know if you want to block it out. Okay, I keep saying I'm just going to do two more, but these are interesting. All right, I'm going to stop there. Okay, so first of all, if you have a special request about sorry, I'm getting text messages. I got to disable my. If you have requests about things you want to learn about, let me know, because I love learning and I will continue to show things. So this is what I wanted to do, and now I kind of have to find it. But last night I spent some time going back and looking at our services. I wanted to do a little reflection of the year. So looking back, again, we won't be back. I won't be here the next 2 weeks, and we'll start again in January. So look for ads. And Dorothy, I think she's at a physical therapy appointment, but Dorothy, if you're on, hello. And she's going to come on and talk about all things Jewish and cooking and everything like that, either January 7th or January 14th. But therefore, I wanted to make sure to take a look back of this year. So I don't think I've talked about this on here, but one of my best friends from when I was in the touring cast of High School Musical got married in Tulum, Mexico. we were there from March 3rd to March 7th. So if you recall, that was right before the shutdown. I actually, when I got on the plane to get back just in time for Purim from Tulum, the only questions that they were asking at that point were, have you been to China? And then they checked your temperature. And they're chasing a lot of the issues that people have found to the fact that they were only asking people if they'd been to China, right? And they ultimately discovered that a lot of the coronavirus cases were coming from Europe, not China. My dad is in the mirror. You say hi, Dad. My parents are here for one more day. So I got back and we had our two Purim events, and things were already starting to kind of quiet down. And by the next Shabbat, the Friday before the shutdown, we had already closed Temple. And so let me see if this works real quick. I'm going to try and share a screen. It's going to show me. Oh, hold on a second. Let me see if I can do this. One second. I would like to show you what our first services looked like, because I just realized how far along that we have come. I'm still experimenting with this whole, let's see if you guys can see this. Hold on a second. You're going to see you're going to see myself for a second, then I'm going to switch it. Oh, you see myself and what I'm seeing. That's how I see. There's your behind the scenes of behind the scenes. But here is the first one. Now the question is that what you're seeing? Oh man. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let's see. Somebody's going to have to say, I'm going to go back and forth and see. Can you see this? Not that. Can you see this video? Oh, now it's giving me problems. Uh-oh, one second. Can you see this video right here? Somebody say yes, and I'll have to switch back and forth. Can you see that window right there? Or does it keep switching back and forth? See, now it's going back. But, okay, Jay, can you see, Raymond, can you see this video with the giant square in the middle of our first service?
And we asked them to light the candles for us this evening. So you'll love.
Face
the entrance as we welcome the Sabbath bride.
Oh, okay, so let me just make sure, because I'm unfortunately having to go back and forth. Did you guys just see when I went to that window? Oh, I know how I can do it. I can bring it out here maybe. Hold on. Let me try this one more time. One more time. Hold on a sec, guys. I'm sorry. Let's see. Stop screen sharing. Let me do it one more time. Bring up this window. Let's see if you can see that now. Okay, this should work. Okay, so if you guys can see, I know you keep telling me yes, but you know, when we first started doing it, we were using slides, as you can see here. We were using slides that were the same size as we used for all of our services. I'll play this for a second. I'm going to turn myself on and turn that off. Hold on a second. Turn myself off and turn that on. Okay, sorry, this is a little crazy, but hopefully you could see. There was no audio. All right, I got to figure this whole thing out. But hopefully you could see, actually I can turn them both on, how we had that giant square in the middle. You can see that there. So that was how we started, was with this giant square. And, you know, we were really blessed to get this new live stream system put in about, now it's been, I don't know, 6 years ago. And little did we know that we would need it to the capacity that we did. And Dan Tater, our sound guy, sound and live stream, really became our live stream engineer, who grew up with me here at Temple Emmanuel. He just started experimenting with the software, and we've had people reach out to us from all over the country to say, how are you doing this? And actually the computer that we have has all these inputs. So when you're seeing the PowerPoint, it's actually Keynote, it's plugged into my computer and I'm running it. And so what that turned into was this right here. So I'm going to share this screen now so you can see it. It is right here. So one day, Dan came into us and he said, I think I have figured out how I can, still want to try and see. Oh, it won't let me do that. It's very strange. I think I can figure out how, if you make it long, that we can make the liturgy much easier to read. And so that is how we started to create, hold on a second, I want to show you guys one more time, how we started to create our new live stream. I don't know why it's not showing all of a sudden. Hold on a second. But yeah, we had a ton of questions about that. Like, for example, Rabbi Aaron and I do all of the keynote, all of the liturgy, all of that. And then Dan Tater is able to resize it, and it's just really cool. I don't know why my computer is dying. All right, so that was the first thing. Was it took about 5-6 weeks for us to figure out what the best way was to live stream for everyone. And I feel really blessed to work at a temple that had that kind of setup. A lot of people do Zoom, and we love doing Zoom for engagement purposes, for Torah study, obviously for everyone who's been on for Hanukkah. We had a huge Passover Seder. So that was really, really awesome. But for our services, we're able to really get the best quality, which provides the best spiritual experience, we think, with the way that we're able to do it with the text on the bottom. Sorry, I froze for a second. So we went from just having that text to we went from just having the text in like a box to being across the page. So hopefully everybody has enjoyed that. And that was a huge evolution from the beginning. Then there has been things like, and now I'm upset because I thought there would be sound. So you're going to have to tell me if there's sound on this one. Hold on one second. Let's see if this works. Hold on. All right, let's see.
Of a lovely Seder.
Probably hear it through
that
me.
was going.
See, I'm learning. I'm going to have to fix this. Hold on a second. All right, so this video here, which is now not playing, is our Brady Bunch video. I thought that it would let us play, but it looks like it might not be. But let's see if it lets me right now. Oops, hold on. Here we go.
That was going on almost 2,000 years. All of them had Seder plates.
Do you hear that?
And corset, and salt water for tears. It's the story of a long tradition to eat the matzah and the pesach and the roar. And the 4 cups, bring it all together. Let all come through the door. Till there came coronavirus 2020, and they knew there was a new reality. And this group must somehow be with family. That's the way we bring you Seder virtually. That's the way we bring Seder virtually.
Okay, so I bring that up because that Jay, have you ever seen that? I can actually put the link for that somewhere, but that actually got picked up by the Associated Press, and the AP did a huge story about virtual programming, and Rabbi Aaron did that video. We wrote it. Can't even remember. I think we wrote it together a little bit, but that was the opening of our Zoom Seder, and really was kind of the beginning of us starting to take over doing a ton of editing. So just to make sure you guys heard that okay, because there's a couple others I wanted to share. And I wanted to make sure that you guys could hear. So yeah, so that was crazy. Then the next thing I did, and I was going through this with my mom yesterday, and I was laughing hysterically because when the pandemic first, well, Carol, you'll have to check out that link. Actually, let me see if I can put it in there right now. YouTube, Brady Bunch Temple Emmanuel of Beverly. I'm going to put it in right now so that you guys can watch it later. It's right here. Is this it? Yes, it's right here. Okay, I'm putting this into, you're going to see it's going to come up through the, so there's the link to the Brady Bunch video. And then another crazy thing also that we did with Dan Tater's help is I wanted to do a really fun karaoke kind of concert when people were cooking for Passover. So somehow we figured out like green screen, and I downloaded YouTube videos, and this is what we got. So I'm hoping again that you're going to have sound with this. So let me know. It's weird. It does this thing that says we're having trouble playing your video. 1 second. It like only will let me play it in this mode, but you'll be able to see it. 1 second. Here we go. So here's another really fun thing. And I think I'm going to do a restream of it on New Year's Day. I think would be a good day. So hold on. Check this out. This was the karaoke concert that I loved. All right, here we go. I've turned the sound. I hope you are. Maybe you're not. Maybe you love to make matzo ball soup. Maybe you like to make gefilte fish. I don't know. Maybe you like to sit back in your chair and just sing with us. But my goal I just want to wish everybody a Chag Purim Sameach. That means a happy, and let's see what's next. Teach them well. Let's go to something fun. Is the sound back? I gotta hear you. Here we go. Sing. Here we go. On the green screen. Yeah, so I have to be on in order for the sound to work. Let me fast forward. There was something else I wanted to show. And if I can, New York, New York. See my legs, I'm doing the can-can. New York, let's hear you. I want to wake up in a city that never sleeps and find I'm a number one, top of the list, king of the hill, and find okay. All right. So anyways, that was like one of the most fun things. And I want to do another karaoke concert like that. And so I need a theme. That one was just like songs that everybody would love to sing. But I again had to thank technology. Like all of this is just really highlighted what technology has brought to our lives and kept us together, and just everything like that. So was that the last video I wanted to show? It is. So we are going to close out today. Super Bowl weekend. What am I going to sing? Sports songs? I don't know, Jay. You're gonna have to give me some song suggestions for that. And when is Super Bowl? Let's see. When is Super Bowl? Super Bowl 2021. Is it Super Bowl going to happen is what I want to know. Actually, it's interesting. My older sister lives in Pasadena, and she just moved there, and she lives, does it say chair exercise. Super Bowl 2021 is February 7th. Does that make sense? Well, maybe for the people who don't want to watch the Super Bowl, we will do a non-Super Bowl karaoke. Thanks, Jay, for the idea. Although January, we have a lot of musical things going on. We have a MLK Shabbat. We have a Shabbat Shirah that I'm partnering with a bunch of my great cantorial friends from Wilshire and Stephen Wise and Shomrei Torah and Central Synagogue, and it goes on and on and on. So it's going to be really, really fun. So with that Purim is a whole other story. We'll see what we're doing for Purim. But with that, I want to thank everybody for joining today. You got some facts. You got to look back on 2021 a little bit. We saw a little bit of how technology has gotten us to where we are today. And also, I discovered Restream, which is the program that we're using right now to go to Facebook and YouTube. So the second brain, Kathy, I'm gonna have to research that for next time. But if you have any ideas of things that you want to talk about, email me, cantorweiss@tebh.org. cantorweiss@tebh.org. I'd love to talk to you and get your thoughts. If you have someone who you think would be interesting to interview, also let me know. Again, this started out as crazy facts with me, and then I've probably done 12 to 20 interviews with different people over the last 9 months, which has really been an unexpected highlight of this journey. So if there's any person that you're interested in talking to, let me know. I'll do some research on the second brain. Yes, and welcome to everyone new and old, and share this and share it on your social media platforms if you're on Facebook, or send it to people. We'd love to have more people to say hi. And that's it. So I guess I want to remind you to keep thinking about things, keep optimistic. Our thoughts really define who we are. They define and so do our actions, but our thoughts drive our actions. So keep thinking about it Thursday.